Hey, welcome back everyone. Today's video is finally our Inferno parrying PvE guide with the Longsword. Focus on the nightmare variants of the undead and the demons we find throughout ruins and all the way down into Inferno. Took me a little while to get the clips because of the damn rotation and having to get down through 2 other floors first, but eventually I got pretty lucky and found all the clips in a couple raids in a row, so it worked out in our favor. Not much else to say. Let's just jump into it, I suppose. We'll start with the Deathskull. There's a lot of these everywhere, all the time. And they can deal with surprisingly large amount of damage, so make sure you're aiming off the left, down low. You can also be kind of just in line with their head, about a full wing's width to the left. Works pretty consistently no matter what, as long as you're in that area. Make sure you're parrying these because they can deal a surprising amount of damage and really screw you up. The Demon Berserker was arguably the easiest demon out of the group to parry. I don't have his dashing slash attack, but I do have the dashing stab here. See, I have to adjust here at the last second to protect my head. Make sure you're aiming in this spot or you're going to take headshot damage and it's going to hurt. The vertical attack, you want to aim up slightly above his head. You want to strafe slightly left. He likes to come down at a weird angle. Duck under the second attack, the slash. Trade both riposte on a vertical attack. You have to aim off screen for the horizontal attack. Trade 1 riposte. If you trade 2, you'll normally end up taking damage like this right here. Make sure you put your crosshair back in the right spot because your longsword's still reactive. As soon as you click that button, it can start parrying. Alright, so you can take damage from them, but still get your parry and trade your riposte. Centaur's very easy. Arguably the most important one to deal with is the Demon Berserker, especially the Nightmare. It's super fast, right? There's a couple different ways. Strafing right and jumping is the way I use, or the way I clear it, I should say. You strafe right, you jump the left attack, and then you can parry these 2 attacks from the right. Be careful with this horizontal swing. If you're too close, you can't catch part of his weapon. His hand doesn't deal damage. The ball and chain at the bottom, or skull and chain, and the blade do. So you got to make sure you're aiming far enough right, or you're spaced out properly. But all in all, this is pretty simple. You just strafe right, you jump the left attack, you trade thrusts when you miss your parry on the right attack. You can see how tight it is. It's easy to miss because of the angles, right? You got to make sure you stay kind of in front of him and trust that you're going to parry it by aiming up above his head rather than panicking and strafing too far right. Here you can see you can catch the skull and chain. It has a hitbox at the start of the swing like this, and it also has a hitbox right here at the end of the swing, all right? So just remember, jump the left attack, strafe to the right. If he misses or stops, trade a thrust attack, and then rinse and repeat. It works well even in tight quarters. We're in this tiny little room. I'll show you here because you think you don't have enough space, but you can reliably fight him even in these tiny little boxes, all right? Another method that you can use is to stand still in front of him, crouch, look up, and then you dodge back and forth to the same sides. But I'm not very good at that one. You can see how we hold our position in that one a little better. Out in front, aiming at his head. And we managed to catch his sword consistently in that spot. But literally, you're just going to strafe. You're going to jump the left attack. You'll catch your riposte when you do, and you'll trade good damage, and you'll chunk him and slowly kill him. It works very consistently and works very well. Arguably the most difficult demon to parry is Demon Bat. You're going to aim at his legs, at his thighs, strafe a little left, trade 1 riposte, walk forward and by him. He'll miss with his next attack. You'll be able to create space, and then you repeat. Aim at his thighs, catch 1 parry, trade 1 riposte, walk past him, repeat. You can walk past left and right. It doesn't matter. Either side is good. What matters is the fact that you're walking by him so he misses with the tight hitbox that the feet have at their wind-up at the start. The demon dogs are pretty consistent too. Drag them out with a crossbow or a range attack. You're going to back strafe a little left. If they do their attack where they run up to you, you just aim the same spot anyways. But you want to be aiming off their shoulder. Strafe slightly left. And then keep strafing left while you're trading your riposte. Alright? That way they keep missing. You know, you can just walk by these guys forward and left, or just keep strafing left or right and they'll miss anyways. But being able to catch this parry helps speed things up. Just make sure when you're trading your riposte, you're side strafing. Alright, let's get into some of the undead. The skeleton Footman, just like the basic one. Horizontal attack, you aim off the left. Make sure you're spacing backwards during it because the next follow-up attack has a further lunge than the normal attack. You see, the normal attack doesn't move him forward. So aim off the left, space back, and then trade your damage. Be careful trading 2 hits like this, because if you don't have the damage break point, you won't 2-shot it. Do 1 riposte, parry the next setup, then hit your 2. Let's take a quick peek at the zombie. There's 1 attack to parry, the attack off the left. It helps speed up the kills because they're so tanky. Left chest. Make sure you're spacing properly because the attack has a long lunge forward. Trade your 2 ripostes. The skeleton Spearman is kind of a pain. Easiest way to deal is to push into him. Just like with the normal variants, you aim up and left, and it interrupts the attack. And he'll only do this attack as long as you're in tight. He doesn't do any of his mix-ups, and you can interrupt him with the Longsword's impact resist, since his attack has a 3 attack impact power. Alright. Just be careful again, you might not have the breakpoint. Trade 1 riposte on the first time, then trade your 2. The skeleton Guardsman isn't really needed or necessary to parry, but you can get a pretty consistent one, strafing him back left a little and aiming in this spot. It can be inconsistent. I'm told it can be pretty consistent if you strafe left and crouch parry. I've never actually tried it. I don't even think about it in combat. There's just no real reason to do it. You'll never hit the shield because you have a thrust and a horizontal second attack. So, if you got to, rather than trying to hit these parries that you don't need to, just trade your thrusts, trade your horizontal 2 attack, reset. It's pretty simple. The Zweihander is also pretty simple. A lot of people like to do the crouch parry. I've taken to doing a full standing parry now. Aiming off to the side, and then jumping the ground sweep, the leg sweep. The left attack, you have to aim pretty far left. Don't forget, it doesn't go as far forward. It doesn't have as far reach. Make sure you're back strafing, shift your aim, look over. If you're too close to the Zweihander, you'll take damage from like his shoulder. Kind of weird. Well, maybe not his shoulder, his upper arm. So make sure you're spacing backwards still while you're jumping over his attack on the ground sweep. The next one, Thanos himself. I used to strafe to the right around him. I've taken to going to the left lately. It lets me parry both attacks a little more reliably. Make sure you don't deal with this when you have other mobs around you either. It was kind of a pain getting the clips from this one, but I wanted to show that you can still do it. Strafe back and left, aim up to the right of his head to catch that first attack. And then when you're in tight, you're doing something similar, you're aiming a little further up. Make sure you're back strafing and left. That way you can parry both in succession, right? Just know if you aim too far over, you'll catch damage from the base of his axe handle, right? And if you're too close, you won't catch the part where it starts registering damage, which is past his first hand, alright? So, all you're doing is back strafing left a little, aim up to the right, and then back strafe off the left, aiming around his chest off the right for the horizontal. Last but not least, the mummy. Aim off the left about torso high. To catch the left attack, trade only 1 riposte. His attack kind of recovered too fast to get 2 when you're riposting off that left attack. I don't have much success with this right attack. I bait him into the lunge like this. Aim off its left shoulder down low. And then you can trade both normally into this if you're spacing back slightly. Works very well. Alright guys, that's about all I got for you in this one. Hopefully this helps you guys find some success down in Inferno and High Roller when you're out there solo bolo and making some plays and getting your AP. Don't forget, you can apply a lot of this to the lower mobs or lower tier mobs as well, and it works just fine. Longsword is really good in PvE, and climbing High Roller is all about clearing PvE at this point, so you might as well make use of it. Get down there, get your portals open, get your sub-boss kills, and get your ranks up. Hit that Pathfinder, hit whatever you want. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know if it's helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and be safe.